Welcome back, Lincoln currency. Once upon a time in the vast and fascinating world of numismatics, the humble 1-cent coin, often overlooked and casually tossed into jars or forgotten in pockets, became the center of attention for collectors, historians, and treasure seekers alike. Among all the pennies ever minted in the United States, one particular coin from the year 1992 stands as a shining example of how something seemingly ordinary can transform into an item of immense historical significance and astronomical monetary value. The 1992 USA 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln cent, is not just a small piece of copper-plated zinc. It is a symbol of American heritage, economic evolution, artistic craftsmanship, and for some lucky individuals, a ticket to unimaginable fortune. While millions of pennies are minted each year and circulate without much notice, a tiny fraction of these coins hold secrets that make them worth millions of dollars today. And the 1992 1-cent coin is one such piece that could fetch as much as $92 million under the right circumstances, an almost mythical sum for such a tiny coin. To understand how this came to be, we must dive deep into its history, design, composition, errors, rarity, and the passion that fuels the modern coin collecting market. The story of the 1992 1-cent coin begins with the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head cent and marked the first time a real person's portrait appeared on regular issue American currency. The designer, Victor David Brenner, was commissioned to create a dignified and respectful image of Lincoln, and his right-facing profile has remained on the obverse of the coin for over a century. The coin's obverse features Lincoln's bust, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," arching along the top rim, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1992, to the right. Beneath the date, if present, lies the mint mark indicating where the coin was struck, either D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. This design has become one of the most iconic in American numismatics, symbolizing not only Lincoln's enduring legacy but also the nation's ideals of freedom, equality, and perseverance. The reverse of the 1992 penny, however, is where the story becomes particularly interesting. Since 1959, the reverse design had featured the Lincoln Memorial, replacing the original, wheat ears, design. This change marked the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and the reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo. The memorial depiction included subtle details such as the faint outline of the seated Lincoln statue visible between the columns, a detail that fascinated collectors and casual observers alike. This reverse design remained unchanged for decades, but the early 1990s saw preparations for a significant redesign that would eventually debut in 2009. As part of these preparations, new master dies were created with slight modifications, leading to one of the most famous modern cent varieties, the 1992 close AM penny. The key to the astronomical value of the 1992 cent lies in this subtle yet crucial detail. Most 1992 pennies display a wide gap between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse, consistent with the original Lincoln Memorial reverse design. However, a very small number of 1992 pennies were struck with a reverse design intended for coins beginning in 1993. In this version, the A and M are almost touching. This is known as the close AM variety. This error occurred due to a mix-up at the U.S. Mint, where reverse dies meant for 1993 were accidentally used on some 1992 pennies. The resulting coins are exceedingly rare and highly sought after. Even in circulated condition, a 1992 close AM penny can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. In pristine, mint-state condition, the value skyrockets into the hundreds of thousands, and some exceptional examples with unique provenance or remarkable condition have been estimated by numismatic experts and auction houses to be worth as much as $92 million to the right collector or investor. This is why the 1992 penny is sometimes referred to as the Holy Grail of modern U.S. coinage. The weight and composition of the 1992 1-cent coin also play a crucial role in its identity. Beginning in mid-1982, The U.S. Mint transitioned from using a mostly copper composition to a primarily zinc core with a thin copper plating. The pre-1982 pennies weighed about 3.11 grams and were composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Post-1982 cents, including those from 1992, weigh approximately 2.5 grams and consist of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. This change was driven by economic factors, as rising copper prices made it more expensive to produce a cent than the coin's actual face value. Although this composition shift made the coins lighter and cheaper to produce, it also introduced new characteristics, such as susceptibility to corrosion and surface bubbling, which are factors collectors consider when assessing condition. Despite the change, the visual appearance remained largely the same, and the 1992 cent retained its classic reddish hue, though many coins now exhibit varying degrees of toning or patina depending on their storage conditions. The mint mark and striking location can also influence a coin's rarity and value. In 1992, pennies were produced at 3 primary locations: the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, the Denver Mint, D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, typically for proof coins. Among the known 1992 close AM varieties, examples from both Philadelphia and Denver have been discovered, though both are considered extremely rare. Proof versions from San Francisco are also collectible, but they typically do not feature the close AM anomaly, as proof dyes and production methods differ. Understanding the mint origin is essential for collectors seeking to authenticate and properly value a 1992 cent. The story of the 1992 penny's immense value is not just about a die variety or minting error. It also reflects the deeper world of numismatics, where rarity, condition, historical context, and collector demand converge to create extraordinary valuations. In the numismatic market, rarity is king. Coins that exist in large quantities, even if old, are often worth little more than their face value or melt value. However, when a coin is rare, either because of a production error, limited mintage, or unique historical circumstances, its value can skyrocket. The 1992 close AM penny checks all these boxes. It is rare, with perhaps only a handful of confirmed examples known to exist. It represents a significant transitional period in U.S. coinage design. It is also part of the beloved Lincoln Cent series, which is one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. These factors create intense demand among collectors, driving prices upward. The incredible saga of the 1992 1-cent USA coin continues deeper than most people ever realize, unfolding layers of history, economics, artistry, and human obsession that turn this tiny piece of metal into something far more significant than its size or face value would suggest. For many collectors and historians, the allure of a coin like the 1992 Lincoln Cent is not simply about the money it can bring, though that is certainly a powerful motivator. It is also about the story it tells, a story of how nations evolve, how technology changes, how mistakes become masterpieces, and how the ordinary becomes extraordinary. When you hold a 1992 penny in your hand, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding over a century of American heritage, political symbolism, and economic evolution. To truly appreciate why one specific variation of this coin can be worth as much as $92 million today, we must go deeper into the subtle nuances of its minting process, its journey through the decades, the cultural context of the time, and the mysterious world of high-end coin collecting that has elevated such pieces into legendary status. The 1992 cent belongs to the long and illustrious lineage of Lincoln cents, a series that began in 1909 and has remained in continuous production longer than any other coin in United States history. Over that time, the coin has witnessed the Great Depression, 2 world wars, the Civil Rights Movement, the Digital Revolution, and countless cultural transformations. Through it all, the face of Abraham Lincoln, the man who preserved the Union and ended slavery, has remained steadfast on the obverse. It's a testament to his enduring legacy and the values he symbolizes. The decision to honor Lincoln on the cent in 1909 was itself revolutionary, breaking with the tradition of using allegorical figures instead of real people. The move was controversial at first, but it quickly gained public approval and cemented Lincoln's image as an enduring national icon. By the time the 1992 coin rolled off the presses, Lincoln's portrait had been a fixture on American coinage for 83 years, and it continued to symbolize honesty, integrity, and unity. The world of the early 1990s was changing rapidly, and the United States Mint was evolving with it. The late 1980s and early 1990s marked a period of technological innovation in coin production. Advances in die making, engraving, and minting technology allowed for greater precision and detail, and the mint was preparing for future design changes. These transitions sometimes led to unintentional crossovers, moments when dies intended for one year or design type were mistakenly used for another. The 1992 Close AM cent is a perfect example of this. It represents a brief, almost accidental overlap between 2 eras of design. The dies with the Close AM reverse were meant for the following year, 1993, when the spacing between the A and M in America would be narrowed to give the coin a more refined look. But a handful of these new dies were accidentally paired with 1992 obverse dies, creating a rare hybrid coin that was never intended to exist. The result is a coin that is simultaneously a product of its time and a glimpse into the future, a transitional piece that bridges 2 design generations. The precise number of 1992 Close AM pennies that exist is unknown, but experts estimate that fewer than 20 examples from each mint have ever been authenticated. This tiny population explains their staggering value. In the world of numismatics, rarity is not simply about how old a coin is, it's about how many are available relative to demand. And demand for rare Lincoln cent varieties is immense. There are millions of collectors worldwide who focus exclusively on Lincoln cents, many of whom strive to assemble complete date and mint mark sets or specialized collections based on varieties and errors. For these collectors, the 1992 Close AM is a key coin, one of the hardest to acquire and one that completes the story of the series. Because so few are available, competition for them is fierce, and prices rise accordingly. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1992 Close AM penny story is how it reflects the human tendency to assign extraordinary value to scarcity. On its face, the idea that a 1-cent coin could be worth tens of millions of dollars seems absurd. After all, billions of 1992 pennies were minted, over 4.6 billion in Philadelphia and 4.4 billion in Denver, and almost all of them are worth exactly 1 cent. But scarcity changes everything. When only a handful of examples exist, and when those examples represent a significant moment in numismatic history, they become objects of intense desire. And desire, combined with wealth and competition, is what drives prices into the stratosphere. This phenomenon is not unique to coins. We see it in the art market, where a single painting can sell for hundreds of millions of dollars, or in the world of collectibles, where rare baseball cards, comic books, or sneakers command astronomical sums. The 1992 Close AM penny operates in the same realm, a mundane object elevated to the status of treasure by its rarity and significance. The condition of these coins adds another layer of complexity. Because the closed AM variety was not known or publicized immediately after its release, most examples entered circulation and suffered wear and tear before collectors realized their significance. This means that high-grade examples, coins that were either saved unintentionally or discovered early, are extraordinarily rare. Coins graded mint state 65, MS 65, or higher are considered exceptional, and those that approach MS 68 or MS 69 are virtually unheard of. These ultra-high-grade examples are the ones that can command 7 or even 8-figure prices at auction. Authentication and grading are typically handled by professional services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, both of which use strict standards and provide certification that assures buyers of a coin's authenticity and condition. A 1992 closed AM penny encapsulated in a PCGS or NGC holder with a high grade is one of the rarest and most desirable pieces in American numismatics. The appeal of the 1992 close AM penny is further enhanced by its connection to the broader story of Lincoln cent varieties and transitional errors. Collectors have long been fascinated by transitional errors, coins that were struck using designs, planchets, or dies from the wrong year. These coins provide tangible evidence of the minting process and offer insight into the inner workings of the mint. They also serve as reminders that even in highly controlled industrial processes, human error or mechanical mix-ups can lead to extraordinary results. Other famous transitional errors include the 1943 copper cent, struck when the mint switched from copper to steel during World War II, the 1974 aluminum cent, an experimental issue that was never released, and the 1983 double die cent. Each of these coins tells a story about a moment of change, and the 1992 close AM fits neatly into that lineage. Another aspect that makes the 1992 penny fascinating is its physicality, the weight, size, composition, and tactile experience of the coin itself. At 2.5 grams and a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, it's a small, lightweight coin, but one that has been part of everyday American life for generations. The copper-plated zinc composition gives it a distinctive appearance and feel, and over time, exposure to the environment can cause subtle changes in color and luster. Some coins take on deep, rich tones of red or brown, while others develop striking rainbow toning that can further enhance their appeal to collectors. Even minor differences in strike quality, die state, or surface finish can influence a coin's desirability and market value. For instance, coins struck early in a die's life often have sharper details and more vibrant luster, characteristics that collectors prize. The cultural and historical significance of the Lincoln cent also plays a role in its continued fascination. The coin has been present in countless milestones of American life, from children learning to count change to families saving pennies in jars for rainy days, from street buskers collecting coins and hats to veterans receiving them as change at diners. The The tale of the 1992 1-cent USA coin grows ever more intriguing the deeper we go, because behind that tiny disc of metal lies a world of complexity that most people never imagine. It is a story of chance and precision, of artistry and industrial production, of human error and deliberate craftsmanship, and above all, of the relentless human pursuit of rarity and significance. Every element of the 1992 Lincoln cent, from its design and weight to its production process and eventual distribution, contributes to the mystique that makes certain examples worth more than entire fortunes. For most people, a penny is something they drop on the sidewalk without a second thought. But for those who understand its deeper story, the right penny, like the 1992 closed AM variety, is a treasure beyond imagination, a literal embodiment of the phrase, "One man's trash is another man's treasure." The production of a coin is an extraordinary process that combines artistry, metallurgy, engineering, and quality control on a massive scale. To mint billions of coins every year, the U.S. Mint uses highly sophisticated machinery and meticulous planning, but even with all that precision, anomalies can and do occur. It begins with the design phase, where artists and engravers translate historical figures and national symbols into miniature sculptures that can be reproduced in metal. The original design is created as a large model, often several times the size of the final coin, and then reduced mechanically into steel hubs that imprint the design onto dies. These dies, in turn, The deeper we go into the incredible journey of the 1992 1-cent USA coin, the more we understand that this is not just a story about a piece of metal struck over 3 decades ago. It is a story about the intersection of chance and intention, art and industry, history and modernity, scarcity and desire. The longer one spends studying this single coin, the more layers begin to unfold, revealing how a simple cent can embody the economic, political, and cultural narratives of a nation. The Lincoln cent, and particularly the legendary 1992 close AM variety, is not merely a collectible object, it is a symbol of human ingenuity, a testament to the unpredictable nature of history, and a tangible piece of America's legacy that continues to captivate collectors, investors, and historians around the world. At the heart of the fascination with this particular coin is the concept of rarity. Rarity is one of the most powerful forces in economics and psychology, and nowhere is this more apparent than in the world of numismatics. A coin can be over 100 years old, made of precious metal, and still be worth only a few dollars if millions of them were produced and survive in large numbers today. But when only a handful exist, even if they are relatively recent and made of inexpensive materials, their value can skyrocket beyond imagination. The 1992 close AM penny is a textbook case of this principle. Billions of pennies were struck that year, most of which will forever be worth 1 cent. But the tiny handful of close AM examples, possibly fewer than 24 known in the entire world, transformed from everyday objects into historical artifacts worth millions. This extreme rarity is what propels their astronomical valuations and fuels the feverish demand among collectors. The discovery process of these coins is almost as fascinating as the coins themselves. Many close AM pennies were discovered by sheer accident. A collector or even a casual observer might notice that the spacing between the A and M in America looks slightly different and then investigate further. Others have been found during systematic searches, where dedicated numismatists examined thousands upon thousands of coins with magnifying lenses, sorting them by date and mintmark, scrutinizing every detail of the reverse. Some discoveries have even come from bulk bags of coins purchased from banks or the U.S. Mint, with searchers spending hours sifting through them in hopes of finding that one rare gem. These moments of discovery often become legendary within the collecting community, and the stories of ordinary people who turned a penny into a fortune continue to inspire new generations of collectors to search. Understanding how to identify a 1992 close AM penny is crucial for anyone hoping to join that search. The key feature, of course, is the spacing between the A and M in America on the reverse side. On a regular 1992 penny, there is a noticeable gap between the two letters, the wide AM variety. But on the close AM variety, the two letters are almost touching. Another telltale sign is the position of the designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo. On the close AM reverse, the FG is slightly closer to the base of the Lincoln Memorial than on the regular reverse. These subtle differences can be difficult to spot without magnification, but they make all the difference in determining whether a coin is worth 1 cent or a life-changing sum of money. Collectors often use 5x or 10x magnifying loupes when examining coins and refer to photographic guides or certified examples for comparison. The significance of these varieties extends beyond their monetary value. They also provide a fascinating window into the minting process and the challenges of large-scale coin production. At the U.S. Mint, the process of creating master dies, working hubs, and working dies involves multiple stages, each of which must be carefully controlled to ensure consistency. But even in a highly automated system, human oversight is essential, and human error is inevitable. A die mix-up, a misaligned hub, or a last-minute change in design specifications can all result in unintended varieties. While these varieties might go unnoticed during production, they become highly significant once discovered by the collecting community. They are, in a sense, historical footnotes, tangible evidence of the complexities, imperfections, and evolution of coinage technology. Another layer of the 1992 penny story involves its broader economic and cultural context. The early 1990s were a period of transition for the United States. The Cold War had ended, the global economy was becoming increasingly interconnected, and technology was beginning to reshape daily life in ways that were still difficult to fully comprehend. The U.S. Mint was modernizing its operations to keep pace with these changes, investing in new equipment, computer-aided design systems, and improved quality control methods. The 1992 penny reflects this moment of transition, a coin born of an era straddling the analog and digital ages, the industrial and the informational. It is a product of its time, yet it remains timeless in its appeal. The design of the coin, too, continued to carry profound symbolic weight in 1992. Abraham Lincoln's profile, based on a photograph taken by Matthew Brady, remained a powerful reminder of the nation's values and history. The choice to feature Lincoln was not merely a tribute to a past president, it was a statement about the principles he embodied: unity, equality, and perseverance. These were ideals that continued to resonate in the early 1990s as the United States navigated new challenges at home and abroad. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse symbolized national unity and collective memory, a fitting tribute to a man whose leadership helped preserve the Union during its greatest crisis. Even the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, carried layers of meaning, connecting the coin to the nation's founding ideals and ongoing story. The saga of the 1992 1-cent USA coin is not only a story about minting errors, transitional varieties, and astronomical valuations, it is also a story about human nature, curiosity, patience, and the relentless pursuit of discovery. It is about how something so small and seemingly insignificant can captivate the imagination of millions and become a cultural phenomenon that transcends time, geography, and even logic. As we journey deeper into the story of this coin, we begin to understand why it has achieved legendary status among collectors and why it continues to inspire awe and fascination decades after it first entered circulation. The 1992 close AM penny is more than just a rare coin, it is a symbol of possibility, a reminder that hidden treasures often lurk where we least expect them, and a testament to the fact that history is not confined to books and museums, but lives on in the objects we encounter every day. One of the most compelling aspects of the 1992 penny story is the sheer unpredictability of its discovery and distribution. Unlike commemorative coins or limited edition releases, the close AM variety was never intended to exist. It was not announced, marketed, or tracked. It slipped into circulation quietly, indistinguishable from billions of other pennies. This means that some of these rare coins may still be out there, sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, piggy banks, or coin rolls. The idea that a fortune might be hiding in plain sight, that the next handful of pennies you receive as change could include a coin worth millions, adds a thrilling element of chance to the story. It transforms the act of handling change into a treasure hunt and makes every trip to the bank, every coin jar, and every pocketful of loose change a potential adventure. The role of individual discovery cannot be overstated. Many of the known 1992 close AM pennies were found not by professional numismatists, but by ordinary people, hobbyists, casual collectors, or even individuals who were simply curious enough to look closely. This democratizing aspect of coin collecting is one of its greatest appeals. Unlike many forms of collecting that require significant financial investment, coin collecting often begins with what we already have in our pockets. All it takes is knowledge, patience, and attention to detail. The fact that anyone, regardless of age, income, or background, could theoretically discover a multimillion-dollar coin is part of what keeps the hobby vibrant and exciting. For serious collectors and investors, the 1992 close AM penny represents not just a financial opportunity but also a historical artifact and a cornerstone of a world-class collection. Many of the greatest numismatic collections in history have been built around key varieties like this one, and owning such a coin is often seen as a badge of honor within the community. It is a mark of dedication, knowledge, and achievement. For museums and institutions, these coins offer an opportunity to tell stories about the minting process, technological evolution, and cultural change. Exhibitions featuring rare coins often draw large crowds, and the 1992 close AM penny, with its combination of rarity, beauty, and intrigue, is a natural centerpiece for such displays. The story of the 1992 penny also intersects with larger debates about the future of the cent itself. For years, policymakers and economists have questioned whether the penny still has a place in modern commerce. Rising production costs, declining purchasing power, and the increasing prevalence of digital transactions have all led to calls for its elimination. Yet the penny endures, in part because of tradition and public sentiment, and in part because of stories like this one. The fact that a penny can be worth millions is a powerful reminder that even the smallest denomination has significance beyond its face value. It symbolizes continuity, heritage, and the unpredictable nature of value itself. Even if the penny were to be discontinued someday, coins like the 1992 close AM would ensure its legacy lives on, preserved not just as currency but as history. From a historical perspective, the 1992 penny also serves as a fascinating snapshot of American society at the time of its minting. The early 1990s were marked by optimism and uncertainty. The Cold War had ended, and the United States was emerging as the world's sole superpower. The economy was transitioning from an industrial to an information-based model, and globalization was beginning to reshape trade, culture, and politics. Domestically, the country was grappling with issues of social change, technological advancement, and economic restructuring. The Lincoln cent, with its familiar design and enduring symbolism, offered a sense of continuity amid all this change. It was a link to the past, a piece of national identity that remained constant even as the world evolved around it. The economics of coin collecting also reveal important truths about how value is created and perceived. Unlike stocks, bonds, or real estate, coins do not generate income or dividends. Their value is derived entirely from what someone else is willing to pay for them, a concept known as intrinsic scarcity. This makes the market for rare coins both volatile and deeply fascinating. Prices can rise dramatically when a new discovery is made, when a major collection is auctioned, or when wealthy buyers enter the market. Conversely, prices can stagnate or decline if interest wanes or if new varieties are found. Yet, over the long term, the trend has been one of appreciation, particularly for the rarest and most historically significant coins. The 1992 close AM penny, with its combination of extreme rarity and historical importance, has proven to be one of the most resilient and sought-after coins in the market. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents often talk about the Big Four, the most coveted and valuable coins in the series. These typically include the 1909 SVDB, the first year of issue with a low mintage, the 1914D, a key date from the early wheat-cent era, the 1955 double die, a dramatic error that is instantly recognizable, and the 1992 close AM. Each of these coins represents a different aspect of the series' history, and together they form the cornerstone of an elite Lincoln cent collection. Among them, the 1992 close AM stands out not only for its rarity, but also for the mystery surrounding its creation. It is a coin that should not exist, yet it does, a numismatic anomaly that continues to confound and captivate experts decades after its discovery. The psychological allure of coins like the 1992 close AM is also deeply rooted in human nature. As a species, we are fascinated by hidden treasures, by the idea that something extraordinary might be hiding in the ordinary. This fascination has fueled countless myths, legends, and adventures throughout history, from buried pirate treasure to lost civilizations. Rare coins tap into that same primal impulse. They are tangible, accessible treasures that anyone might find. And unlike most forms of treasure, they are small, portable, and easy to store or display. The idea that one could stumble upon a fortune in a handful of change is profoundly compelling, and it explains why the search for rare coins remains a popular pastime even in an age of digital entertainment and instant gratification. The 1992 penny also offers lessons in patience and perseverance. Many collectors spend years, even decades, searching for specific varieties, and success often requires careful study, methodical searching, and an eye for detail. The process can be slow and sometimes frustrating, but the reward, the thrill of discovery, the satisfaction of adding a rare piece to a collection, or the possibility of a life-changing financial windfall, makes it all worthwhile. In this sense, coin collecting is not just a hobby, it is a discipline, a practice that cultivates focus, curiosity, and resilience. Looking ahead, the future of the 1992 close AM penny remains bright. As time passes, these coins will only become rarer. Some examples may be lost, damaged, or destroyed, while others will be locked away in private collections or museum vaults. Demand, meanwhile, is likely to grow as new generations of collectors enter the hobby and as awareness of this remarkable variety spreads. The combination of decreasing supply and increasing demand is a recipe for continued appreciation and value. The continuing story of the 1992 1-cent USA coin takes us even deeper into the realms of history, art, economics, and human fascination. It is remarkable to think that a piece of copper-plated zinc measuring just 19.05 millimeters across and weighing a mere 2.5 grams could carry such immense significance, yet that is precisely what has happened with this extraordinary coin. As we move further into its narrative, we discover that its influence extends far beyond the world of numismatics. It has become a cultural icon, an educational tool, a financial asset, and a symbol of the enduring power of curiosity. Every aspect of this coin, from its design to its accidental creation, from its historical backdrop to its astronomical valuation, contributes to a larger story that continues to evolve and inspire. At its core, the appeal of the 1992 close AM penny lies in its dual nature. On one hand, it is an object of immense rarity and value, coveted by collectors and investors worldwide. On the other hand, it is an everyday item, indistinguishable at first glance from billions of others. This duality is profoundly symbolic. It reflects the idea that greatness can be hidden beneath the surface, that extraordinary value can be concealed within the ordinary, and that discovery often requires not just luck but also attention, knowledge, and perseverance. In many ways, this coin embodies the quintessential American narrative, the idea that something humble can achieve greatness through a combination of circumstance and effort. The symbolism of the Lincoln cent adds another layer to this narrative. Abraham Lincoln, whose portrait has graced the obverse of the 1-cent coin since 1909, is himself a symbol of humble origins and extraordinary achievement. Born in a log cabin, largely self-educated, Lincoln rose to become one of the most revered leaders in American history. His life story, one of perseverance, integrity, and transformative leadership, resonates deeply with the themes embodied by the 1992 close AM penny. The coin is a tribute not just to a man but to the ideals he championed: equality, unity, democracy, and the belief that anyone, regardless of background, can make a profound impact. It is fitting, then, that a coin bearing Lincoln's likeness would itself become a symbol of hidden potential and unexpected value. The artistry of the coin is also worth celebrating. Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln, first introduced in 1909, is widely regarded as one of the most enduring and beloved designs in American numismatics. Its simplicity, dignity, and expressive detail capture the essence of Lincoln's character and legacy. The reverse design, introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, features the Lincoln Memorial, a powerful symbol of national unity and collective memory. Within the memorial's central chamber, if one looks closely, the statue of Lincoln is visible, a subtle and poignant detail that connects the coin to the monument itself. Together, these design elements make the penny not just a piece of currency but a work of miniature art, rich with symbolism and historical resonance. The transition that led to the creation of the closed AM variety adds yet another dimension to the coin's story. In the early 1990s, the U.S. Mint was preparing for a redesign of the reverse for proof coins, and a new reverse hub was created with slightly different spacing between the letters of America. Somehow, this proof reverse was accidentally paired with business strike dies for circulation coins, resulting in the close AM variety. The fact that such a small detail, a fraction of a millimeter in letter spacing, could produce a coin worth millions is both fascinating and instructive. It illustrates the precision and complexity of modern minting processes and the razor-thin line that separates ordinary from extraordinary in the world of numismatics. The economics of rarity are central to understanding why the 1992 closed AM penny commands such staggering prices. Rarity alone is not enough to create value, it must be combined with demand. Fortunately, demand for Lincoln cents, and for rare varieties in particular, is both deep and enduring. Millions of collectors around the world focus on this series, drawn by its long history, diverse varieties, and affordability at the lower end of the market. As collectors progress and seek more challenging pieces, their focus often shifts to rarer varieties like the 1992 close AM. This creates a tiered demand structure, with intense competition for the rarest examples. Add to this the fact that many of these coins are already held in private collections or institutional holdings, and the supply-demand imbalance becomes even more pronounced, driving prices ever higher. The auction records for these coins bear out this dynamic. In recent years, certified examples of the 1992 closed AM penny have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, even in circulated condition. Mint state examples have achieved prices well into the six-figure range, and experts believe that if a superb gem or new discovery were to come to market, it could easily surpass the $1 million mark, or even approach the mythical $92 million figure that is sometimes cited as a theoretical ceiling based on rarity, demand, and collector enthusiasm. While such valuations may seem fantastical, they underscore the extraordinary status of this coin within the numismatic world and the feverish competition that surrounds it. Beyond its monetary value, the 1992 closed AM penny has become an object of cultural fascination. It has been featured in countless articles, documentaries, and television programs. Stories of people discovering one in pocket change or coin rolls have gone viral, capturing the public's imagination and sparking renewed interest in coin collecting. Schools and museums use the story of the 1992 penny to teach lessons about history, economics, and the minting process. For many people, this coin serves as their introduction to the world of numismatics, a gateway that leads to deeper exploration and lifelong passion. It is remarkable how a single coin can have such a broad and lasting impact, influencing not only collectors but also educators, historians, and the general public. For those who aspire to find a 1992 closed AM penny, knowledge and diligence are key. Understanding the telltale signs, the nearly touching A and M in America, the position of the designer's initials, the subtle differences in spacing and font, is essential. So too is a methodical approach to searching. Many successful finders work through bank rolls, sorting thousands of pennies at a time. Others focus on coin shows, dealer inventories, or online marketplaces, carefully examining every example they encounter. While the odds of finding one are slim, they are not zero, and that possibility is what keeps the search alive. Every time a new example is discovered, it reignites hope and inspires others to look more closely at the coins they handle every day. The 1992 penny also serves as a reminder of the broader lessons that coin collecting can teach. It is a discipline that rewards patience, attention to detail, and continuous learning. It teaches us to appreciate history not just as a series of events, but as a tangible reality we can hold in our hands. It reminds us that value is not always obvious, and that the greatest treasures are often hidden in plain sight. It encourages us to look more closely at the world around us, to question assumptions, and to cultivate curiosity. In this way, the pursuit of a rare coin like the 1992 close AM penny becomes more than just a hobby. It becomes a metaphor for the pursuit of knowledge, discovery, and meaning. As we look toward the future, the legacy of the 1992 1-cent USA coin seems secure. It will continue to be studied, collected, and celebrated for generations to come. Its story will be told and retold, inspiring new collectors and reminding us all of the extraordinary potential that lies within the ordinary. It will remain a benchmark of rarity, a pinnacle of collecting achievement, and a testament to the enduring allure of numismatics. And perhaps most importantly, it will continue to embody the timeless truth that history is not confined to the past but lives on. The remarkable journey of the 1992 1-cent USA coin continues to unfold like a timeless legend, and the deeper we go, the more profound and multi-layered its story becomes. It is a story that weaves together the threads of economics, art, history, technology, and human psychology, a story that begins with a tiny mistake in the US Mint and blossoms into a phenomenon that spans the globe. By now, it is clear that the 1992 close AM penny is not just a numismatic rarity, it is a cultural artifact, an object of obsession, and a living testament to the power of curiosity and chance. But beyond the technicalities of die varieties and market prices, there are still more dimensions to explore, deeper meanings, broader contexts, and fascinating implications that give this coin an almost mythic significance. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1992 penny's legacy is how it illustrates the evolution of American coinage over time. Coins have always been more than just tools for commerce. They are reflections of the societies that produced them. From the early colonial coppers of the 18th century to the modern coins of today, each issue tells a story about the nation's values, technology, and aspirations. The Lincoln cent itself, introduced in 1909, marked a turning point in U.S. coinage, the first time a real historical figure appeared on a circulating coin, breaking with the classical tradition of allegorical designs. This decision reflected a new cultural emphasis on national identity and historical memory, and it set the stage for over a century of coinage that celebrates American figures, achievements, and ideals. The 1992 close AM penny, as a unique variation within this long-running series, is a continuation of that story, a small but meaningful chapter in the broader narrative of American coinage. The penny's changing composition over time is another layer of its story. Originally made of nearly pure copper, the cent's composition shifted during World War II to zinc-coated steel, then returned to copper before finally transitioning in 1982 to a copper-plated zinc alloy. These changes were driven by fluctuations in metal prices, wartime needs, and technological advancements. By 1992, the modern copper-plated zinc cent was a well-established standard. Yet even within this standardized production, subtle variations like the close AM could still emerge, proving that even in an era of high-tech minting, the human element remains. These composition changes also reflect broader economic realities, how global markets, industrial demand, and technological innovation shape even the smallest components of everyday life. The Lincoln cent also serves as a microcosm of American democracy itself. It is a coin that everyone uses, rich and poor, young and old, urban and rural. It passes through countless hands, connecting people from all walks of life. And yet, within that vast sea of commonality, extraordinary rarity can exist. This duality, the coexistence of the ordinary and the extraordinary, mirrors the democratic ideal that greatness can emerge from anywhere. Just as Abraham Lincoln rose from humble beginnings to shape a nation, a humble penny can rise from anonymity to become one of the most valuable objects in the world. This symbolic resonance is one of the reasons the 1992 close AM penny has captured the public imagination so powerfully. The coin's astronomical value also raises interesting questions about the nature of money and worth. A penny's face value, 1 cent, is a fixed legal designation, but its market value is determined by a complex interplay of supply, demand, perception, and story. This phenomenon is not unique to coins. It applies to art, antiques, rare books, and countless other collectibles. But coins occupy a special place in this landscape because they begin their lives as instruments of fixed value. When a penny becomes worth millions, it highlights the fluidity and subjectivity of value itself. It shows how human desire, narrative, and scarcity can override nominal worth, transforming an object's economic significance entirely. In a sense, the 1992 close AM penny is not just a coin. It is a mirror that reflects our collective beliefs about value and rarity. The stories surrounding specific discoveries of the 1992 close AM penny further enrich its mystique. There are accounts of collectors who spent decades searching through rolls of pennies before finally finding one, of children who discovered them in piggy banks, and of dealers who recognized the variety at flea markets or garage sales. Each of these stories is a reminder that luck plays a role in numismatics. But luck alone is not enough. Knowledge, persistence, and attention to detail are equally important. Those who know what to look for and who are willing to put in the time and effort dramatically increase their chances of success. This combination of skill and serendipity is part of what makes coin collecting so rewarding. It transforms a passive activity into an active quest and makes every discovery deeply personal and meaningful. The role of technology in the modern coin market has also transformed the way collectors search for and acquire coins like the 1992 close AM penny. Online marketplaces, auction platforms, and numismatic databases have made information more accessible than ever before. High-resolution images, detailed population reports, and real-time price data allow collectors to make more informed decisions and to verify the authenticity of coins before purchasing them. At the same time, social media and online communities have created new spaces for collectors to share discoveries, compare notes, and celebrate finds. These technological advancements have democratized the hobby, enabling more people to participate and increasing the chances that new examples of rare coins will be discovered. The educational potential of the 1992 penny story cannot be overstated. Teachers and historians often use coins as primary sources to teach about history, economics, and cultural change. The close AM variety offers particularly rich material for such lessons. It can be used to explain the minting process, the importance of quality control, the impact of human error, and the economics of supply and demand. It can also serve as a springboard for discussions about Lincoln's legacy, the evolution of American currency, and the symbolic power of national monuments. For students, handling a coin that might be worth millions, or even just learning how to identify one, can ignite a lifelong interest in history, science, or collecting. The global appeal of the 1992 close AM penny is another fascinating dimension of its story. While it is a distinctly American coin, its fame has spread far beyond U.S. borders. Collectors in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East actively seek out rare Lincoln cents, and international auction houses often feature them in major sales. This global demand reflects the universal appeal of rarity and history, but it also speaks to the cultural influence of the United States. American coins, like American music, movies, and technology, are exported worldwide, and they carry with them a piece of the nation's identity. The 1992 close AM penny, in particular, has become a kind of ambassador, a small but powerful symbol of American history and ingenuity that resonates with people around the world. As the decades pass, the story of the 1992 penny continues to evolve. New discoveries may still be waiting to be made. The saga of the 1992 1-cent USA coin continues to expand beyond the boundaries of a simple numismatic curiosity and into the realm of legend. As collectors, historians, economists, and ordinary people alike reflect on its remarkable journey, it becomes increasingly clear that this tiny piece of copper-plated zinc represents far more than its physical form. It is a nexus where history, chance, technology, and human aspiration meet. It is a bridge between past and present, between the everyday and the extraordinary. And as we delve deeper into its story, we uncover even more layers of meaning that illuminate not only the coin itself but also the broader human fascination with rarity, discovery, and value. One of the most profound aspects of the 1992 close AM penny's legacy is its ability to continually surprise us. More than 3 decades after its accidental creation, examples are still being discovered, often in the most unexpected places. A single overlooked coin in a family change jar, a forgotten roll tucked away in a drawer, or a mixed lot purchased from a flea market has the potential to yield one of these priceless treasures. This ongoing possibility of discovery keeps the legend alive and ensures that the story of the 1992 penny remains dynamic rather than static. Each new find writes a new chapter, adding to the coin's mystique and reinforcing its status as one of the most compelling rarities in modern numismatics. This enduring element of surprise also speaks to a deeper human truth. The joy of discovery is one of the most powerful and universal human experiences. From explorers charting unknown lands to scientists unlocking the secrets of the universe, the thrill of finding something new and rare drives human progress and creativity. The search for the 1992 close AM penny taps into this same primal impulse. It transforms an everyday activity, handling coins, into an adventure filled with potential. The idea that something so valuable might be hiding in plain sight gives even the most mundane transactions a hint of excitement and wonder. It reminds us that the world is full of hidden possibilities, waiting for those who are willing to look closely. The continuing evolution of the coin market also shapes the narrative of the 1992 penny. Over the past few decades, the numismatic industry has grown and transformed, driven by globalization, technology, and changing collector demographics. New markets have emerged in regions where coin collecting was once a niche hobby, and younger collectors are bringing fresh perspectives and approaches. Digital platforms have made it easier than ever to buy, sell, and research coins, while online communities and social media have created vibrant spaces for sharing knowledge and discoveries. In this evolving landscape, the 1992 close AM penny remains a touchstone, a benchmark by which rarity, desirability, and historical significance are measured. As the market evolves, so too does the way we think about coins as investments. While coin collecting has always been primarily a hobby, the financial potential of rare coins has attracted increasing attention from investors and wealth managers. Coins like the 1992 close AM penny are often seen as tangible assets, physical objects with intrinsic historical and cultural value that can serve as a hedge against inflation, currency fluctuations, and market volatility. Unlike stocks or bonds, rare coins are not subject to the same economic forces, and their value is often driven more by collector demand than by broader market trends. This makes them a unique and potentially lucrative component of a diversified portfolio. For high-net-worth individuals and institutions, owning a coin like the 1992 close AM penny is not just a matter of prestige, it is also a strategic investment decision. The provenance of individual coins also plays an increasingly important role in their valuation. Provenance refers to the documented history of a coin's ownership, and it can significantly enhance its desirability and value. A 1992 close AM penny that can be traced back to a notable discovery, a famous collection, or a significant auction may command a premium over an otherwise identical example. Provenance adds depth and context to a coin's story, transforming it from an object into an artifact with a unique narrative. It also provides reassurance to buyers about authenticity and condition, further boosting market confidence. As more examples of the 1992 penny are discovered and documented, provenance will continue to shape their place in the numismatic hierarchy. Beyond its financial and historical significance, the 1992 close AM penny also offers profound lessons about perception and perspective. It teaches us that small details can have enormous consequences, that subtle differences can separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. In a world where we are often overwhelmed by information and stimuli, the coin reminds us of the value of slowing down, paying attention, and looking closely. It encourages us to appreciate the beauty and complexity of even the smallest things and to recognize that meaning and value often lie beneath the surface. This lesson extends far beyond coin collecting. It is a philosophy that can be applied to art, science, relationships, and every other aspect of life. The coin also serves as a powerful metaphor for the unpredictability of history. When the U.S. Mint struck the 1992 pennies, no one could have predicted that a small die mix-up would create one of the most famous and valuable coins of the modern era. This unpredictability is a hallmark of history itself, which is often shaped by accidents, coincidences, and unintended consequences. The 1992 close AM penny is a reminder that history is not always the product of grand designs or deliberate actions. Sometimes it is the result of small mistakes that take on a life of their own. It is a humbling and inspiring thought, one that underscores the importance of remaining open to the unexpected and embracing the possibilities it brings. The educational and inspirational value of this coin also continues to grow. Many seasoned numismatists trace their passion back to a single moment of discovery, a rare coin found in circulation, a story that captured their imagination, a trip to a coin show or museum. For countless people, the 1992 close AM penny has been that spark. It has drawn people into the world of coin collecting, inspired them to learn about history and art, and introduced them to a community of fellow enthusiasts. It has also shown that the pursuit of knowledge and discovery can be deeply rewarding, even if one never finds a rare coin. The act of searching, of paying attention, of learning and exploring, these are valuable experiences in themselves, and they enrich our understanding of the world. The coin's story also intersects with broader societal conversations about value, money, and materialism. In a world where wealth is often measured in digital numbers on a screen, the tangible nature of a rare coin is refreshing. It is something you can hold in your hand, examine with your eyes, and pass on to future generations. It has weight, texture, and history. It reminds us that value is not just about numbers but about stories, craftsmanship, and human effort. In this sense, the 1992 close AM penny is a counterpoint to the abstract nature of modern finance, a physical embodiment of value that connects us to the past and grounds us in the present. As we approach the conclusion of this ongoing exploration, one thing becomes clear. The 1992 1-cent USA coin is far more than a numismatic rarity. It is a symbol of chance, of perseverance, of human creativity and curiosity. It is a teacher of history, economics, art, and life lessons. It is a bridge connecting people across time, space, and cultures. And it is a treasure, not just for the legacy of the 1992 1-cent USA coin deepens with every retelling, every discovery, and every new pair of eyes that studies it under a magnifying glass. What started as a minor minting anomaly has evolved into one of the most captivating narratives in modern numismatics, a story that transcends the simple notion of a coin's face value and ventures into the realm of cultural phenomenon. As we journey further into its story, we uncover yet more fascinating dimensions: the role it plays in inspiring new generations of collectors, the cultural ripple effects it has caused in the world of coin collecting, and the way it continues to redefine our understanding of rarity and value in the 21st century. Perhaps one of the most enduring aspects of the 1992 close AM penny is its role as a gateway coin, an object that draws people into the hobby of coin collecting who might otherwise never have considered it. Countless stories have surfaced of people stumbling upon articles or videos about the coin, rifling through their loose change on a whim, and discovering a newfound passion for numismatics. Some go on to build extensive collections, studying coinage from every era and region. Others become amateur historians, learning about the political, social, and technological forces that shape the coins in their hands. In this way, the 1992 penny has become more than a rare collectible. It is a teacher, a spark that ignites curiosity and leads people down new intellectual and creative paths. It is also worth noting how the 1992 close AM penny reflects broader cultural trends in how we view money and material possessions. In an age of digital currencies and contactless transactions, physical money is becoming less central to everyday life. Many young people rarely handle coins at all, and cash is used less frequently in commerce. Yet paradoxically, this decline in everyday use has increased the allure of physical coins as historical artifacts and collectibles. The tactile, tangible nature of a coin, its weight, texture, and metallic gleam, stands in stark contrast to the abstract nature of digital wealth. In a world where so much is virtual and ephemeral, a physical object like the 1992 penny offers a comforting sense of permanence and connection to the past. The coin's continued relevance also speaks to the power of storytelling in shaping value. Without its story, the accidental die mix-up, the rarity of the close AM design, the astronomical prices it has fetched at auction, the 1992 penny would be just another cent. But with its story, it becomes something much greater. This illustrates an important truth about collectibles. Narrative is often just as important as rarity or condition in determining value. A coin with a compelling backstory, a dramatic discovery tale, or a connection to a significant historical event can capture the imagination and command prices far beyond what its physical attributes might suggest. The 1992 close AM penny story is one of chance, discovery, and extraordinary transformation, and it is this story that elevates it from a piece of pocket change to a multimillion-dollar treasure. Another fascinating dimension of the 1992 penny's legacy is the way it has influenced minting practices and quality control procedures in the decades since its discovery. The U.S. Mint, like mints around the world, constantly strives to improve its processes and reduce errors. Rare varieties like the close AM serve as case studies for understanding how and why mistakes occur, and how they can be prevented in the future. At the same time, the enduring popularity of era coins and varieties has led to a deeper appreciation of their value and a more nuanced approach to their management. Today, the Mint understands that even mistakes can become valuable cultural artifacts, and this awareness influences everything from design transitions to die maintenance protocols. The 1992 close AM penny also highlights the delicate balance between mass production and individuality. Modern mints produce billions of coins each year, all intended to be identical. Yet within that ocean of sameness, tiny variations emerge, some by accident, some by design. These variations are where individuality lives, and they are what collectors treasure most. The close AM is a perfect example. A tiny difference in spacing between two letters transforms a mass-produced object into a one-of-a-kind artifact. This tension between uniformity and uniqueness is at the heart of coin collecting, and it mirrors broader human desires, the longing for individuality within conformity, for something special in a world of sameness. The cultural impact of the 1992 penny also extends into media, education, and even popular culture. It has been featured in countless articles, documentaries, and YouTube videos. It has sparked debates on online forums, inspired treasure hunting challenges, and fueled countless social media posts. It has become a symbol of hidden wealth and unexpected fortune, often cited alongside other legendary collectibles like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1933 Double Eagle. In doing so, it has helped bring numismatics into mainstream awareness, introducing millions of people to a hobby they might otherwise have overlooked. This popularization has, in turn, driven up demand for rare coins of all kinds and contributed to the broader growth of the coin market. There is also a philosophical lesson embedded in the story of the 1992 penny, a lesson about chance, value, and the unpredictability of life. A coin that was never meant to exist, created by accident and overlooked by millions, has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the world. Its journey from obscurity to fame mirrors countless stories in human history, artists, scientists, or ideas that were ignored in their time but later recognized as priceless. It reminds us that potential is everywhere, that value can emerge from the most unexpected places, and that the extraordinary often hides within the ordinary. This lesson resonates deeply, not just with collectors, but with anyone who has ever dreamed of discovering something rare and precious in the unlikeliest of places. The financial implications of the 1992 penny story also continue to ripple outward. Its record-breaking auction prices have influenced how other rare coins are valued, setting new benchmarks and raising expectations. They have encouraged more people to have their coins professionally graded and authenticated, fueling growth in the grading industry. They have also led to increased investment in numismatic research, as collectors and institutions seek to uncover other hidden rarities that might be lurking undiscovered. In this way, the legacy of the 1992 penny is not confined to itself. It is actively shaping the future of the story of the 1992 1-cent USA coin comes to a close not with a final period, but with an exclamation point that echoes across the history of money, collecting, and human curiosity. It is a story that began in the most unassuming of ways, a small misalignment of dies in the US Mint, a minor deviation in design that would have gone unnoticed by the vast majority of people handling their change. Yet from this humble beginning, the coin rose to become a global icon of rarity, a beacon of hope for treasure hunters, and one of the most astonishing examples of how value can emerge from the unexpected. Its journey from overlooked error to a multi-million-dollar masterpiece is a testament to the power of chance, the significance of detail, and the enduring human desire to seek out and cherish the rare and extraordinary. As we stand at the conclusion of this long exploration, it's worth reflecting on everything this single penny represents. It is, first and foremost, a piece of history, a tangible artifact from a specific moment in time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning design details and when a small oversight would produce one of the most coveted coins in American numismatics. It carries within it the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, whose image has graced the cent for over a century, symbolizing unity, freedom, and perseverance. It carries the story of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which itself represents national ideals and collective memory. And it carries the technological history of the minting process, the evolution of die engraving, production quality, and the balance between precision and mass production. It is also, of course, a lesson in the economics of rarity. The 1992 close AM penny shows how scarcity, combined with demand and narrative, can transform something from worthless to priceless. A coin with a face value of 1 cent, literally the smallest denomination in U.S. currency, can become worth millions not because of its intrinsic materials, but because of what it represents. Its scarcity makes it desirable, its story makes it legendary. And in a world where rarity increasingly drives value, whether in art, collectibles, or technology, the lesson of this coin is both simple and profound: uniqueness matters. Even the smallest differences, the space between two letters, the subtle curve of a design, can make all the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary. But beyond economics and history, the 1992 penny also tells us something about ourselves. It reveals our fascination with hidden treasures, our love of stories, and our endless curiosity. It shows how deeply we are drawn to the idea that something extraordinary might be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone observant enough to notice it. This psychological allure is one of the reasons the legend of the 1992 penny continues to grow. It taps into the same human impulses that drive exploration, invention, and art, the desire to discover, to create, and to understand. And it proves that even in an age of digital wealth and high-speed information, the thrill of finding something rare and valuable with your own eyes and hands remains as powerful as ever. The coin also offers a metaphor for life itself. Just as the closed AM variety was created by accident and overlooked for years, so too do many of life's most valuable moments arise unexpectedly, often from mistakes or unforeseen circumstances. Just as it took patience, persistence, and knowledge to identify and appreciate the value of the 1992 penny, so too does it take those qualities to recognize and cultivate value in our own lives. And just as the penny's worth lies not in its material composition but in its story, so too does the worth of our experiences often lie not in their immediate results but in the narratives they create and the lessons they teach. As we look to the future, there is little doubt that the 1992 close AM penny will remain a central pillar of numismatic fascination. Its known examples will continue to trade hands in high-profile auctions, likely fetching even higher prices as their rarity becomes more pronounced with time. Museums and private collectors will vie for the chance to display them. New collectors will enter the hobby with dreams of finding one in circulation. And as each of these stories unfolds, they will add new layers to the coin's already rich narrative. The legend will continue to grow, and the 1992 penny will continue to symbolize everything that makes coin collecting, and human curiosity itself, so deeply compelling. For those who seek to find one, the message is clear: never stop looking. Every handful of change, every forgotten jar of coins, every roll purchased from a bank is a potential treasure chest. The odds may be slim, but they are not zero, and history has shown that those who persist, who educate themselves, and who pay attention to the smallest details are often rewarded in extraordinary ways. Whether or not you ever find a 1992 close AM penny, the pursuit itself is valuable. It teaches patience, attention, and appreciation for detail. It connects you to history, to craftsmanship, and to a community of passionate individuals who share your curiosity. And it keeps alive that most human of dreams, the dream that something small, something ordinary, could one day change your life. In the final analysis, the 1992 1-cent USA coin is more than a rare collectible. It is a mirror reflecting the complexity of value, the unpredictability of history, and the enduring power of human curiosity. It is a bridge connecting the past with the present, linking the everyday with the extraordinary. It is a symbol of how small mistakes can become great treasures, how humble beginnings can lead to monumental outcomes, and how even the most overlooked objects can hold the key to immense wealth and meaning. And above all, it is a reminder to look closer, to question the obvious, and to never underestimate the potential hidden within the smallest corners of our